So you are the call to worship. It's right after they sing the Barnyard song, Darla and Mark. And you're there. And then will you come up and help Michael? Sage will be your carrier of the basket for. You just have to hold the basket, and Mike will do everything else. Just hold it with him, and not too
Check
close
four.
to the dogs.
Check 4, Troy. How's that?
Yep.
Da ba ya da 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 da
Yeah, they're all the
da.
same,
How's
except
that?
for the not the acorn baskets, the ones with the cups.
Okay. Yeah. Just it should be mid red.
Yeah. You can. But stay near the front. Once again, no families. It's just amazing. Like, we just keep trying to do these things, and they will not participate in worship no matter what we do. That's not true. No, she's not here. It's Luna, the new little girl, the girl with the new family, SJ's family. Sarah Jane. Yeah. But I haven't seen them. They texted me this morning, but I haven't seen them since. Okay.
Morning, Bob. How are you?
Hi, Bob. Good to see you. We're outside today, Bob. Yeah. That's what happens when you're disembodied. Oh, there's Chris. Okay. That's good. Good morning. We are fully outside today. Okay. So just sit over on that bench if you want. No, this mic, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And I have I never got around last year because I was so busy to doing the
Okay, good morning, everybody. Let's sing together. We always start our worship with singing, no matter where we are, even when we're outside. So I invite you to rise in body or spirit. Let's sing together. You don't need words for this because the words are this. Hallelujah, hallelujah, sing hallelujah. I think you can do that. This is a partner song in 3-4 parts. We'll do each part a couple of times and then we'll mix it up and see what happens. Here we go. Hallelujah, sing hallelujah. Hallelujah, sing hallelujah. That's part one. Second part. Hallelujah, 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 and part three. Hallelujah, sing hallelujah. Make sure it's not the same part as the person next to you. Here we go. Hallelujah, sing hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Again, hallelujah, sing hallelujah, hallelujah, sing hallelujah.
Yeah, I'm on. It is on. Oh, this one on? Oh, I see. Gotcha. Thank you. All right, let's try this again. Good morning. Welcome to the Mount Diablo Unitarian Universalist Church and to our service of Blessing the Animals, which is a very special service that we do just every couple years as our Sunday service, and we are so grateful that you are part of it. It is also a service that demands a lot from our musical and tech staff, so let's just take a moment and recognize them. Thank you. I'm the Reverend Leslie Takahashi, and my pronouns are she and her. And we are so glad that all of you, including those of you who have 4 paws and a tail, are here. I'm not going to be so shouty because that might be upsetting for you. And those of you who are visiting us this morning, welcome. We hope that if you're visiting us on campus, you'll take a moment and fill out a visitor's card. And if you're visiting us online, we hope that you will also go to our website where you can also say hello and fill out a visitor's card. Next week, we are having our Connecting You, MDU-UC, and UU class for those of you who may be new and want to learn a little bit more about who we are and what we do together. And we'll have an opportunity for people to make the commitments of membership the first week of the month, or you can speak to a board member after the service or to me as well. We have a lot going on this morning and today, this week. I want to mention that today we have some letters on our justice area. We might not have a separate table because we're outside, but our justice area, and they have to do with reproductive freedom. And last week we took all 500 of the postcards. So let's keep it going, folks. That was great. We also this week have our Women Talk group and a number of other small groups. So please look at our calendar and in our Friday email to see all the groups that are happening this week. We will be postponing the walk and talk that was planned for today, from today. If you are in need of a listening ear, please contact me or any member of our ministerial team if you are in need of listening, special care, or financial support. Asking is a gift you give our community, and welcome to this beloved community.
Good morning. My name is Chris Carter. I am a member of your Board of Trustees. I also serve as the congregation's treasurer. My pronouns are he, him, and his. Mount Diablo Unitarian Universalist Church is a welcoming faith community, and we begin our services by reading our mission together. We bring to life our Unitarian Universalist values as we seek truth and work for justice, nurture compassion and courage, reach out to each other and to our larger community of faith, bridge the divisions that wound the human family, transform ourselves and our world. This community exists because of the time, talent, and treasure that our members and friends share. Please talk to any board member or minister about how you can connect and contribute. We are so glad to have you with us, and we hope that you are keeping safe. A few announcements. While we are no longer checking vaccine statuses, our expectation is that those who are inside, when we are inside, are vaccinated. Thank you for honoring this commitment and helping to keep one another safe. Check out the just-in-time section of the Friday email for one-time ways that you can contribute your time to benefit this wonderful community. Today only, get your tickets for a taste of Walnut Creek, the season's best movable feast. A chance to sample many of Walnut Creek's restaurants is coming up. Not able to go? Suggest you buy one and donate to another MDUUC member or friend who might not be able to afford to attend. See the fundraising table after the service. Next, our amazing annual services auction, our biggest fundraiser annually, which is always the first Saturday in November. This year is coming up on November 5th. So the Bid for Love, November 5th. Lastly, we will have a congregational forum next week on October 16th in a hybrid format to consider financial sustainability, the eighth principle, and more. And finally, welcome. It's good to be together.
So as I said, this is a very special Sunday, and we do have among us some folks who aren't used, some creatures that aren't used to being with us. So I'm going to suggest we not get up and move around, because there may be people that are like, oh, thank goodness they just settled down, right? Yeah, exactly. People are nodding. So what I'm going to invite us to do is just turn in our seats, say hello to the people near us, and then the other thing I'll invite you to do is if you're sitting next to someone especially cute, whether they have fur or not, take a picture of them and send it to photos at MDUC later this week, because it'll be great to document it. So let's exchange greetings. We've got one thing more.
Good morning. I am Michael Macias. I'm the intern minister here at Mount Diablo Unitarian Universalist Church. We acknowledge that we stand on unceded lands, and we recognize the Ohlone people whose homelands we now occupy. We continue to honor their legacy and recognize their descendants and the Pan-American indigenous diaspora who call this land, and land both near and far, home. We recognize the global impact of colonization, both historical and present, that has separated our indigenous siblings from their native land. And in this recognition, we call ourselves and each other into a continuum of stewardship with the people that have preceded us. We also acknowledge that our indigenous siblings are still with us. We stand in solidarity with those whose ancestral lands we tread, and commit ourselves to the work of uplifting and liberating our indigenous siblings. As stewards of these unceded lands and in relationship with our indigenous siblings, We invest in the Golden Eagle Parent Committee. As co-conspirators in Indigenous-led sovereignty, we support and engage in efforts to end currently existing apartheid, colonization, and answer the call to confront environmental injustice on and around these Indigenous lands. As part of our commitment to countering oppressions and creating just and sustainable communities, we call upon all who share these values to join us in solidarity as we honor our Indigenous siblings, their land, and our earth by treating each with respect and love.
We invite you to sing the words of the invocation. You'll find them on the screen to your left, or if you have the order of service on your device, it's there. Spirit of life, come unto me. Sing in my heart all the stories of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice. Roots hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me.
What should I say?
Did you give them? Okay, just say we light this chalice.
We light this chalice
To bless all our animals.
to bless all our animals.
Come up, should I?
All right. So for our time for all ages, first of all, once in a while I have to introduce myself. My name is Mark Tuning, he, him, his pronouns. And I'm going to ask Darla to come over a little closer. I serve this congregation as music director. And once in a while I get to sing with Darla, who has been my life partner for a long time. And there is a song that we want your help with. We really want you to help us with this because I'm not sure we can, well, I know for a fact we can't do it on our own. It goes like this. I bought me a cat, my cat pleased me. I fed my cat under yonder tree. My cat says fiddle-I-fee.
Cats say meow.
Well, yeah, but it's hard to sing meow. Fiddle-I-fee is
Fiddle
more
I
musical.
fee. Okay, all right. We try that again.
Y'all help us, right?
Fiddle
help
I
us, right?
fee.
So next, so this is called the Barnyard Song because we just keep adding animals. I bought me a hen, my hen pleased me. I fed my hen under yonder tree. My hen
And
goes
says-
shimmy shack, shimmy shack.
Wait, stop. No, I'm sorry. We have 3 hens at home. We have never had a hen say shimmy shack, shimmy shack. Our hens say
true. Okay.
Can we
we'll
fix
go with
that?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Meow.
They need to help though.
All right.
They need to do
We
it.
got to
Let's see
keep
it.
him straight.
Let's see it.
Yeah.
Let's hear it. Let's hear it. There we go. All right, that's enough of that. I bought me a duck. My duck pleased me. I fed my duck under yonder tree. My duck
Says
says
quack, quack. My hen
And
says bark, bark.
My
Cat says fiddle-I-fee.
I bought me a goose. Whoops. Nope, it's goose next. isn't it?
Goose.
Okay. I bought me a goose. My goose pleased me.
I fed my goose under yonder tree. My goose says quack, quack. My duck says quack, quack.
My duck
My hen says rock, rock. My cat says fiddle-I-fee.
I bought me a pig. My pig pleased me. I fed my pig under yonder tree.
My pig says oink, oink. My goose says. My duck says. My hen says. My cat says fiddle-I-fee. I can't hear you. You're going to have to sing louder. I bought me a sheep. My sheep pleased me. I fed my sheep under yonder tree. My sheep says ba, ba. My pig says oink, oink. My goose says quack. Says quack, quack. My hen says bark, bark. My cat says fiddle-I-fee. I bought me a hog.
My hog pleased me.
I fed my hog under yonder tree. My hog says my sheep says ba, ba. My pig says oink, oink. My cat says quack, quack. My duck says quack, quack. My hen says bawk, bawk. My cat says fiddle-I-fee. I bought me a cow. My cow says me. I fed my cow under yonder tree. My cow says murr, murr. My hog says my sheep says ba, ba. My pig says oink, oink. My goose says quack, quack. My duck says quack, quack.
What does the hen say? You made the big deal of it.
My cat says fiddle-I-fee. There's a lot of words here.
I bought me a horse. My horse pleased me. I fed my horse under yonder tree.
My horse says neigh, neigh. My cow says moo, moo. My hog says my sheep says ba, ba. My pig says oink, oink. My goose says quack, quack. My duck says quack, quack. My hen says bawk, bawk. My cat says fiddle-I-fee.
I think there's only one left.
Yeah, thank God.
I see a few of these around. I see more of these around here than just about anything else, I think.
That's because you wouldn't let me bring the chickens.
I
bought me a dog. My dog pleased me. I fed my dog under yonder tree. My dog says woof, woof. My horse says neigh, neigh. My cow says moo, moo. My hog says my sheep says ba, ba. My pig says oink, oink. My goose says quack, quack. My duck says quack, quack. My hen says bork, bork. My cat says fiddle-I-fee.
Good morning. Good morning. My name is Sage Hagerstrand, and my pronouns are they and them. Now, who here has a pet, whether they are with you or not? Raise your hand. All right, that's pretty good. Well, for those who didn't raise their hand, know that this is no longer a call to worship. This is a TED Talk on why you should get a pet. Number one reason, they are the cutest creatures known to humankind. Exhibit A, my cat. I'm a personal fan of this little rascal. Her name is Sapphire. She is 12 weeks old, and her favorite things to do are shred the curtains, shred my feet, and steal her sister's share of the food. The first time I held her, which was when she was 5 weeks old, I felt as if she looked into my eyes and told me her name herself. The heavens opened up, angels sung, it was glorious. She's a spitfire of a cat who isn't afraid of anything, which can be slightly dangerous at times, but I think it just adds to her charm. Now, since this is a TED Talk, let's talk about some science. Studies have shown that interacting with animals increases levels of the hormone oxytocin, which has a number of impacts and effects. It lowers the stress and anxiety that we have, regulates our emotional responses and our positive communication, trust, empathy, and positive memories, and it gives us a warm, fuzzy feeling inside. No, that dog too, especially. When it comes to kids, they can be helpful in teaching them life lessons, such as birth, illnesses, accidents, death, and even singing lessons. They can also teach about patience, responsibility, and empathy. Kids in the audience, if you want some pets, take some notes. Another fun fact, pets can help manage loneliness and depression. They give us reason to get out of the house, give us reason to get out of bed, and they give us companionship when we are feeling alone. As someone who struggles with depression, I can say firsthand that pets help an incredible amount. I have smiled more, laughed more, and felt genuinely happy with Sapphire in my life. Another example of this in action is my grandmother, Anishi. She had a dog named Maddie who saved her life when she was grieving. What she would do is she would animals are singing today. She would lay on her chest and have her heart be right next to my grandmother's. And Anishi said that's exactly what she needed at that time. Sapphire has given me a reason to live as well. As much as I depend on her, she depends on me. She helps me fall asleep after I feed her. And she makes me laugh by biting my eyelashes. By the way, if there's anyone in the audience who knows why my cat does this, please tell me. And bumping her head against my face. And then I take her to the vet, and I am an incredible father. All jokes aside, I have seen my happiness levels increase since I met my kitty. If the facts that I have said and the absolutely adorable picture of my cat has not convinced you to get a cat or any other animal, try it yourself. Go to an animal farm or strike up a conversation with an animal lover today, and I promise you, you will feel the happiness that I feel. And seriously, get a pet. It's worth it. Come, let us worship together.
We invite you to rise and body your spirit. Let's join in singing the hymn, All Creatures of the Earth and Sky. Words are on the screen. All creatures of the earth and sky, come kindred, lift your voices high. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Bright burning song with golden beam, soft shining moon with silver gleam.
One of the realities that we all must learn to face is the reality of death, that life comes to an end, lives of all kinds and in all forms. We often learn this first with our animals because they do not live as long as we do, although who had that plan was not thinking well. Our year and a half with our hamster, our decade with our dog, our decade and a half with our cat, or even our decades with our horses are never enough. Gary Kowalski is a UU minister who has written a book about the loss of a beloved animal. And he writes, "Stars have their lifespans and we have ours. Even the earth, which seemed to the ancient writers was once to last forever, was once young and will ultimately grow old. It's how the world stays in balance and makes room for the new. Each living thing," he says, "has its own distinct season and duration." So today, in our Blessing of the Animals, we want to recognize the importance of our animal companions and the significance of their loss, because too often in our greater society, we really don't have places where we can acknowledge how important they are to us and how much we grieve when we lose them. Here is a story that Gary Kowalski tells from India. The hero of this saga was known for his love of truth and righteousness, and his character was revealed most fully at the conclusion of his life. Though he was assiduous, this wise man, who was without sin or blemish in his life, achieved the summit of his society, and therefore the gods, and especially Indra, prepared to take him in a golden chariot to his rewards. But there was a catch. Indra tells him that in order to enter, he must leave his dog behind, a creature not worthy of eternity. "There is no room in heaven for persons with dogs," the almighty Indra announces. And this righteous and truthful man responds, "This dog, O Lord of the past and present, is exceedingly devoted to me. He should go with me. My heart is full of compassion for him, and that compassion is the great teaching of the Vedas." "But you have renounced everything else," Indra reasons with him. "Why not sacrifice this dog too? The realm of bliss is waiting for you." But this wise and righteous man would not betray his lifelong friend, and instead chose to forego heaven, saying, "It has been said that the abandonment of one who is devoted is infinitely sinful. So hence, great Indra, I shall not abandon this dog today for desires for my happiness." So we take this wise lesson into our hearts as we take a moment to remember animals that were lost in this community. We have Fergie the dog and Ginger the cat, the beloved animals of Dan Barnhart and Virginia Huey, who died in 21 and 22. We have Scotch, the beloved dog of Patty Purvis Thielman and her family. Wally, Sagittarius, the beloved dog of Melissa Allen and Elizabeth Andreessen, who died in 2022. Wally, the beloved dog of Laura Zucker and her family, and Lulu and Stella, the beloved members of the Sanjetti Mangum family. So we just take a moment to acknowledge those. And also, Kurt also tells us that on August 18th, his wife Joanne's horse Limit passed away due to having colic. The horse was 29 years old and German-born, and was with them for a decade and went to 10 dressage shows with them. So we're holding all of them. And I invite you now, if you did not have a chance to send in a picture of your beloved animal, just to call out the names, and we will just hold them together. Any other animals that you have lost recently that you wish to be held in our embrace?
Tippy.
Thank- And we remember all of these animals. We hold them in our embrace, and we recognize the significance that they have in our days, both in their presence and the ways that they live on in our life. Let us just take a moment of silence to honor these beloved animals. Thank you, all of you who sent in a picture or said a name, for bestowing the blessings of these memories on this community. We honor all of these animals and the love and care and joy that they gave to all of us. And after our service today, we will have a very special opportunity to recognize them in an ongoing way.
Does this need to go down? Yep. Good morning. I'm Aki Rasmussen, pronouns she and her, a member of the Robert DeVite Justice Task Force. In this service, when we're talking about how important our companion animals are, we want to take a moment and remember Robert DeVite, who was a member here, who left his estate to the congregation to be used for justice activities under the direction of Reverend Leslie Takahashi. His money has been used in recent years to support our second minister position, our Minister of Engagement and Justice, Reverend Rodney Lemery. And we will also be sharing some exciting longer-term plans to extend the reach of this church into the community, thanks to Robert's gift. Today, though, we want to honor his love for his dogs, who were his life companions. They came to church with him whenever he came, and they were a great source of comfort to him. In his name, we have made gifts to programs which help animals, and after the service, you will hear of plans to have a memorial to Robert and to the animals he loved. Please join Bill Clark and Reverend Leslie near the Memorial Garden to learn more after the service.
We worked long and hard on this. But we want you to join us. It goes like this. All God's creators.
Dogs and the cats having fun. And when the dogs and the cats, they take up the mill and
One more time.
the dogs and the cats, they take up the middle where the honeybee hums and cricket fiddles and the donkey brays and the pony neighs. The old Gad Badger sighs.
Listen to the laces, the Hi, my name is Nasa Matt. I'm a member of your board of trustees, and I use she and her pronouns. And this is Sheba. If you have ever been on a Zoom meeting with me, you have probably met Sheba or watched as she presumed that I should pay attention to her and not what was going on my screen. As an elementary school teacher, it's not often that I get presented with the opportunity to work from home. But during March of 2020, I finally got my chance. Overnight, I had to create an at-home school program for my 23 students and navigate some new technology called Zoom in order to read them a story or other whole group activities each day. Without fail, Sheba would invite herself to all of my meetings and became well known to my class. I even created a lesson on mammals that specifically featured her as our specimen to observe. The kids loved it. While all this sounds like a great time, it was also lonely and emotionally taxing. And having Sheba there to provide me comfort during a time of many unknowns was an indescribable blessing. As the world opened back up again, my MDUC community also provided strength and comfort through programming and Sunday service, all of which Sheba joined in on. The support of this community during times of uncertainty is why it is so important to me that I give back with my time, talent, and treasure. At this time, I'd like to invite you to consider your own contribution to help sustain our beloved MDUC. The ushers will now come forward to receive your offerings. Please join me as we dedicate our offering to the work of this community in transforming ourselves and our world. We dedicate ourselves and our offerings.
What I'm hearing this morning is that I should allow all the plants and animals to adopt me. But how are we called to be in relationship with all living things? It's a question that cultivates an awareness of, an appreciation for this web of life. It is exceedingly appealing to believe that we are isolated from the world around us by the boundaries of our bodies, and yet we receive daily reminders, the barking of dogs, the chirping of birds, cows and hens singing to us, that this world is a living world to be shared and not owned. Nature is our life support system, and all that shares this home with us are our siblings. We are not called to exercise dominion over the plants, the animals, nor are we called to exercise dominion over the land. Instead, we are invited to be stewards. We're invited to recognize and honor that divine spark in each of us, whether we are human, animal, plant, or the land itself. May we hold all our siblings and these connections as sacred and holy. May it be so.
We call this service the Blessing of the Animals, and it was named for a practice first performed by the Catholic priest Francis of Assisi, who understood how much we were interdependent with our animals, how much we depended on them, and how much they depend on us. I'm now going to, people have asked me, where are your dogs? Some of you met my dogs, and you know why they're not here today. But they're here with us. I'm going to show you, this is a Crystal Ball, and who is a bully breed, an American bully, and this is Ferdinand, who is a pit bull mix. Now, there they are. That's Crystal trying her new leash, which she does not approve of. We're having a conversation about that, and there's Ferdinand. Now, some people avoid the word pet because they think of it as demeaning. The word is also derived from the word for beloved, which is why we can apply it actually to our companion animals to grace our lives if we do so in the right spirit, whether they're dogs or cats or rabbits or rats or gerbils or hamsters or snakes or bearded dragons or birds or fish. And somebody will tell me what I left out afterward, I am sure. They give us much joy and happiness. Now, Winnie the Pooh, the beloved character created by A.A. Milne, says, sometimes the smallest things take up the most room in your hearts. And I want to take a little moment here to say that I wanted to quote Pooh today because in some towns around our nation, Winnie the Pooh books are being banned. Because some people who have a particularly extreme religious view believe that if we believe that animals can talk and think, we are not properly honoring the superiority of human beings. Now, because we have animals around and we don't want to disturb them, how do we feel about this? Thumbs up or thumbs down? Thank you very much. Just thought we would just take a moment there to remind us about the importance of engaging in our democracy. Anyway, now it's time for our ceremony. We will now bless the animals who are here in spirit so that we can practice this together. If you have an animal who, like my beloved Crystal and Ferdy, could not be here today, let's just all say out their names, and then we will say together our words that recognize their blessedness. You can even grab a treat after the service to take to them, but keep in mind, we have dog treats, cat treats, and rodent treats. So please get the right kind. And bird seed as well. Okay. Now, we will bless, can everyone please, if you have an animal who isn't here today, like Crystal and Ferdy, just say their names, and then we will practice our blessing. Yes. Great. Crystal and Ferdy. So we'll just say, thank you, dear animals, for blessing us with your presence. And this is what we're going to say after we do our blessing with everyone. We honor the spirit of life within you and all the gifts you give to those around you. So I'm going to invite Ronan and Sage and Michael and Reverend Rodney to come up. And Michael and Rodney need mics. And we're going to do this. Okay. Ronan, we're going to go this way. Okay. So we're going to go over here, and we will take turns with our animals. These are the dogs. Yeah, I'll do that. So we have water that's taken from our water ceremony that if the animal's willing to let me just gently touch them with a drop, we will. But what we recognize in our service is that the blessing is already within the animal. It's the blessing they give to us. So what is the name of this beloved one? Louis. Dear Louis, thank you for blessing us with your presence, not to mention your bully stick. We'll give you this for a later time when it might be useful. And we'll say our response, if we can keep that up. We honor the spirit of life within you and all the gifts you give.
Dear Maeve, for blessing us with your presence.
With the life within you and all the gifts you give. What is the name of this animal? This is Star. Dear Star, thank you for all the gifts you give. We bless you. Here we go, Star. You like a little water? Oh, yeah. She's like, oh, water's good. But this might be more exciting for whenever Megan thinks you should have this. And let's have our response for Star. We honor the spirit of life within you and all the gifts you give.
This is Gromit. And Wallace. Thank you. And Wallace. Thank you, dear Gromit, for blessing us with your presence.
The spirit of life within you and all the gifts you give. And what is the name of this beautiful animal? This is Jody. Thank you, Jody, for blessing us with your presence. We honor the spirit of life within you and all the gifts you give. And there we go. This is for Jody.
And this is Pinky. Thank you, dear Pinky, for blessing us with your presence.
We honor the spirit of life within you and all the gifts you give. And who do we have here? This is Kona. Kona, thank you for blessing us with your presence. Yes, he's like, yes. We honor the spirit of life within you and all the gifts you give. Beautiful.
This is Basil, right? Mm-hmm. And we have Basil with us this morning. Thank you, dear Basil, for blessing us with your presence.
We honor the spirit of life within you and all the gifts you give. And who do we have? Oh, this is Glow. Glow, thank you for blessing us with your enthusiastic presence. We honor the spirit of life within you and all the gifts you give. I'm going to let David give you this when it's the right moment. Thank you, David.
And now we have way back here in the back two lovely little creatures. And your names are Teddy and Cosmo. Or Comet. I keep wanting to call Comet Cosmo, sorry. Thank you for blessing us with your presence.
We honor the spirit of life within you and all the gifts you give. They are.
And here we have Zara with us this morning. Thank you, dear Zara, for blessing us with your presence.
Honor the spirit of life within you and all the gifts you give.
Sweet baby.
And who do we have here? This is Viva. We've seen you before. You are a beautiful animal. Thank you for blessing us with your presence, Viva. We honor the spirit of life within you and all the gifts you give. This is the water, and this is for Cyrilyn to give you when it's appropriate. Now, have we missed anybody who's stuffed or might be very small so we didn't see you? Okay, that might be it. So let's say our words one more time. We honor the spirit of life within you and all the gifts you give. Hi, Pinky. So, we are not quite done with this because, as those of you who are here early know, we have wonderful animals who are part of our campus. And they were here early, checking it out. We had a turkey parade. Yesterday I was here. And we have a young stag who was very present, making sure that we knew that there are other animals that we want to recognize here. So we're going to recognize those animals which do grace us with their presence in our nature sanctuary campus. I often tell people that I'm lucky to work in a place where you can come out and find your car surrounded by a gang of deer. And then, of course, we have the fact that you can be doing a service and be drowned out by the gobbling of turkeys. And then we had our special peacock, peahen, who's been our special guest. So when we move in a minute, there's going to be a basket of acorns that will be passed around. And I'm going to ask you to take one for our ceremony over near the Memorial Garden. I do want to mention that acorns are not a good thing for dogs to eat. So if the dogs think it's additional dog treats, try to dissuade them from that. We'll be taking them out to our Memorial Garden after the service to remind us to the connection of all the animals and our place in the web of life. So let's say these words one more time to all of our animal friends. Thank you, dear animal friends, for blessing us with your presence. We honor the spirit of life within you and all the gifts you give all around us. Thank you.
We invite you to rise and body your spirit. Let's sing our closing song. Blue Boat Home. Though below me I feel no motion, standing on these mountains and plains, far away from the rolling ocean, still my dry land heart can sing.
I think that we should take a moment and honor the incredibly good behavior of all the people here. And the animals did pretty well too. So as we move and depart, let's keep that in mind and let everybody who needs space today have space. And a reminder that you're invited to grab an acorn from Rodney or Michael and bring it over to the far edge of the patio where we'll have a very short, special moment of commemoration connecting us to this special place for scattering the remains of beloved companion animals. Our benediction today is again the words of Winnie the Pooh. You're braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, and smarter than you think. Let us take a moment to be grateful for all the animals who remind us of that even when we don't always remember it.